Good evening and welcome to the Egypt Bulletin here from Qnews. I'm Mark Summers. Welcome to the program. Egypt has strongly condemned remarks attributed to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, suggesting the displacement of Palestinians, including through the Rafah crossing. Cairo stressed such plans cross a line that will never be accepted. In a statement, the Foreign Ministry accused Netanyahu of seeking to prolong the conflict and deepen instability to evade accountability for Israel's violations in Gaza. It reaffirmed Egypt's outright rejection of any attempt to displace Palestinians, whether by force or pressure, through systematic attacks on civilians and infrastructure. The ministry said Egypt will never be a partner in such injustice or in undermining the Palestinian cause, warning that displacement remains an absolute red line. Egypt welcomed the adoption of the Arab League Council at the ministerial level during its 164th session of the decision titled Shared Vision for Security and Cooperation in the Region, issued through a joint initiative with Egypt and Saudi Arabia. Egypt emphasized that there is no room to allow any party to dominate the region or impose unilateral security arrangements that undermine the region's security and stability. Egypt affirmed that the adoption of the decision reflects a responsible Arab leadership role in formulating clear principles to enhance security and cooperation, sending the message that the stability of the region can only be achieved through respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity. And now joining us is our guest from Al Ahram, the managing editor, Ashraf Al Ashri, joining us from Cairo. Please tell us your reaction to the Egyptian statement in response to Netanyahu's claims regarding the Rafah border crossing.
Definitely, this decision is highly respected decision in the Arab world because this is a new stage of unity between the Arab countries. And this vision between Saudi Arabia and Egypt reflects that we are standing with Palestine because we need to consider that Palestinians cannot find any party that support them, and Egypt tries so hard to stand against the genocide and the terrible actions against the Palestinians. We understand that Benjamin Netanyahu has his own agenda to have or to occupy the West Bank and Gaza Strip. They are trying, the Israeli occupation forces try so hard to evacuate people and to let them be refugees. They try to convince the Arab countries to host Palestinian refugees. And through this decision, we are proposing a direct message that this will never happen at all. We are having a unity between the Arab countries that we will never accept the displacement of Palestinian people from their own lands, and this is what we need to understand through this decision. So we need to consider that the Palestinians and the famine, starvation that they are suffering from will end through this unity.
Okay, and the Arab League, of course, has adopted the Egyptian-Saudi resolution for security and cooperation. What does this mean for the region?
Actually, this decision between Saudi Arabia and Egypt will urge all the Arab countries to propose a direct message for the Israeli occupation forces. We need to be together to stand against what is happening. We might have or practice pressure on Netanyahu to stop this war, to convince him that we need a ceasefire as soon as possible. As Egypt suggested before, to have a ceasefire for 60 days. Now the Arab countries sees that Egypt and Saudi Arabia stands together. This will encourage them to stand together and to practice pressure on Israeli. They need to stop the relations with Israel, because if they stop to trade with them or to have economic development with them, this will be pressure. Also, we can practice pressure on U.S. administration, because if we stop the relations with the U.S. for a while, this will be an actual action that we can apply on reality. That's what we need, and that's what we can understand from the resolution of the Arab League and the cooperation between Egypt and Saudi Arabia. This is a new stage for us, and we need to consider this, and we need to respect this, and to reach Arab unity.
Okay, and what is your view on Egypt's role in facilitating or trying to facilitate the entry of aid into the Gaza Strip?
We know that Egypt tries so hard since the 7th of October and since the beginning of this war to facilitate delivery the aids and the humanitarian aids. Now they have announced that there is a famine and starvation in Gaza Strip. We need to act as soon as possible. We are standing in Rafah crossing, trying so hard to deal with all the obstacles, all the challenges, to facilitate the medical care and the humanitarian aid for the people. Children are dying out of death. Actually, I do not understand why other states do not deal with the situation exactly like Egypt. But what I can understand is that Egypt will never let Palestinians down. They will never accept that Palestinian people die out of starvation, out of famine, out of killing. We cannot accept this even as a human beings. And I hope that all the states will take the same situation. Actually, we need to be also grateful that Egypt is standing as a strong party here and will never let Palestine down. That's what we can see since the first day, the very first day of the war. Also, Egypt not just to try to facilitate the delivery of aid, they are trying to start negotiation and to end this war and to reach a ceasefire. That's what we can see from Egypt as a state, as a powerful state. We are seeing initiative from our side to end this war and to reach to a ceasefire that will end the suffering of the Palestinian people who are living there.
Well, thank you very much, Ashraf Al-Ashri, joining us from Cairo, the Al-Ahram managing editor. His words, of course, being spoken through an interpreter. Now, in other news, the Egyptian Red Crescent has dispatched the 31st convoy of the initiative, Zad al-Azhar, from Egypt to Gaza, carrying urgent humanitarian aid into the besieged enclave through the Kerem Abu Salem crossing. The convoy includes large quantities of food baskets, flour, essential medicines, and medical supplies, along with urgent relief items. It follows a series of aid shipments launched by Egypt to support the people of Gaza, reflecting Cairo's continued commitment to easing the humanitarian crisis. Since its launch in late July, the initiative has delivered thousands of tons of food, baby formula, medicines, personal care products, and fuel to residents in dire need. Foreign Minister Badr Abdul Ati stressed the importance of strengthening energy cooperation between Egypt and Cyprus, with the aim of fully integrating Cypriot gas fields with Egypt in line with the agreement signed between the two countries. During his visit with the meeting with the Cypriot president, the foreign minister reviewed Egypt's efforts to achieve a ceasefire in Gaza and to alleviate the humanitarian suffering of the Palestinian people, praising Cyprus's historic stance on the Palestinian cause. He also addressed the severe consequences of the ongoing Israeli aggression and the expansion of military operations in Gaza, condemning settlement policies and displacement plans. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdul Ati also met with Cyprus's House Speaker Anita Demetriou today. The talks focused on strengthening bilateral ties and boosting parliamentary exchanges alongside regional issues, including the war in Gaza. During the meeting, Abdul Ati praised the historic relations between Egypt and Cyprus and called for expanding cooperation in energy, investment, tourism, education and labour. He highlighted the strategic importance of East Mediterranean energy projects and the electricity interconnection plan, as well as the agreement on employing Egyptian workers in Cyprus. The minister also briefed Demetriou on Egypt's efforts to secure a Gaza ceasefire and facilitate aid delivery, stressing rejection of displacement plans and illegal Israeli settlement expansion. He reaffirmed that a two-state solution remains the only path to lasting peace. Egypt and Bahrain have signed a memorandum of understanding in Cairo to establish a joint youth council. The platform aims to strengthen cooperation, exchange expertise, and promote youth diplomacy between the two nations. Youth and Sports Minister Ashraf Sobhi said the agreement reflects the deep and historic ties between Egypt and Bahrain, opening new prospects for empowering young people to play a leading role in shaping the future. The Council will serve as an institutional framework for joint programs, training and annual youth forums, while promoting dialogue, peace and sustainable development. A joint executive plan will include innovative initiatives, community projects and exchanges of delegations, reinforcing the role of youth as active partners in decision-making. Foreign Minister Badr Abdul Ati emphasized the importance of utilizing Egyptian seasonal labor and implementing the agreement related to employing skilled and trained Egyptian workers in the construction, building and agricultural sectors. During his meeting with his Cypriot counterpart, Minister Badr Abdi firmly reiterated Egypt's outright rejection of any plans to forcibly displace the Palestinian people from their land or to liquidate the Palestinian cause. He strongly condemned the expansion of Israeli military operations in Gaza and the continued acts of genocide and starvation against the Palestinian people. Cairo University has launched its first workshop on applied artificial intelligence for administrative staff. The training is part of the university's AI strategy to boost efficiency and prepare for future digital transformation. The workshop, organized by the Faculty of Computers and AI, focused on AI governance and ethics to ensure safe and responsible use of emerging technologies. University President Mohammed Sami Abdul Sadiq said the initiative aims to build a model for other Egyptian universities by enhancing research, education and administrative performance. Dean Haytham Hamza added that a series of workshops will follow to equip staff with AI skills and align with Egypt's Vision 2030. Cairo University launched its pioneering AI strategy in 2024 and is set to host the first international AI conference, Cairo University AI Nexus 2025, this October. Egypt's national team, led by coach Hossam Hassan, will face Ethiopia at 10 p.m. tonight at Cairo International Stadium as part of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Egypt currently tops the group with 16 points, followed by Burkina Faso in second place with 11 points, while Sierra Leone ranks third with 8 points. And good luck to Egypt tonight. That's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Qnews for the latest developments.